Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for calling my coworker a nosy b***tch after she kept insisting to know my husband's salary? AITA I took $2,000 to get off the plane and came home late. AITA for ruining dinner over a spelling mistake? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for calling my coworker a nosy b***tch after she kept insisting to know my husband's salary? My husband and I have, both 33, have been together since college. Over the years, he's had quite the career trajectory. He's a quant PM and makes like 10x what I make, and I make a good salary, huh? As we've grown wealthier, I've learned that people become nosier. Friends, acquaintances, relatives, you name it. In the beginning I would entertain the nosy questions, but since I turned 30, I've adopted a take no shit attitude. When people ask me how much he makes, I no longer say anything. I've learned the hard way that giving an exact number can have bad consequences. My coworker, 25, is new and she already has quite the reputation. Very chatty, catty, gossipy, you get the gist. You can just tell she craves wealth and status. She wears a bunch of flashy designer items and is always asking the ladies around the office which of the men are single. Last Friday, our office hosted an afternoon happy hour. She approached me and asked how me and my husband's recent vacation to Europe went. I told her it went well and briefly summarized what we did. Then the conversation went something like this. So what does your husband do? Me, he works in finance. Oh wow, he must make a ton then to be taking you on all these lavish vacations. I hope you don't mind me asking, but how much does he make in a year? Me, yes, we're very lucky that he makes a good salary. Polite smile. Oh Simon, I won't tell anyone. How much does he rake in a year? Millions? Me, awkward chuckle, I'd rather not say, but it's up there. What, he doesn't allow you to give an exact number or something? Me, visibly annoyed, no, I just prefer not to say. Laughs in my face, you'd think the stuck-up one would be the one with money, not the one without. Me, you should learn how to take no for an answer and when to quit being a nosy b***tch. It's a valuable lesson. Then I smiled at her and walked away. Later on, I had a few coworkers reach out to me and say that she was crying and left early and that I should apologize for calling her a rude name. I refused. I told my mom and she said I was too rude to the new girl and that she's young and might not fully understand salary talk. I think she's old enough. Husband is fully on my side but said maybe I should fake apologize for the sake of office politics, which I somewhat agree with. But still, AITA? I know women like her. The type to find out it's millions and then start sleazing all over your husband. NTA. Oh, trust me, I know exactly what you mean. I've encountered my fair share of those too and my new coworker is definitely one of them. And also the suggestions that she contributes just a little bit more to any office functions, drinks, etc. NTA report her to HR. She kind of low-key tried to get to know his salary so she can hang on him and be his girlfriend. I could definitely see her as the type of woman to throw herself onto married men if they have enough money. I agree with the HR part. At the very least, you'll get ahead of anyone else reporting it to HR, and you'll get your version in first. NTA, and don't apologize. NTA, but I have always found why do you ask is more effective than vague answers to unacceptably personal questions. If that fails to end it, still don't give any answers. That's not something I discuss outside my family and my tax guy. You know what, that's actually a great response, wow. I've never thought about directing a question back at them, but I can totally see how that can be more effective/productive. Thanks for this. Turning the question back to them is definitely the power move, and also the straight up closing of the door is really good if they keep at it. So what does he make? He makes OP happy. Esh. She was rude, but you were too. You have to be professional in a workplace setting, because conduct like that can harm your reputation. Was it really worth it to escalate the situation like that? You could have easily been NTA if you had just said "excuse me" and walked off. Esh. Yes, she was being rude and unprofessional. Your response was also rude and unprofessional. The first time being polite fails, be direct. If being direct fails, say "it was nice to meet you" or "have a good day" and walk away. If we all swore at everyone at our jobs who deserved it, nothing would ever get done. AITA, I took $2,000 to get off the plane and came home late. Delta gave me $2,000 to skip my flight. This is $2,000 that can be spent anywhere. The flight looked like it was going to get cancelled anyway. It did. So now I have $2,000 and a hotel stay, but my fiancé is mad at me because I chose the money over coming home. But it looked like the flight was going to be cancelled. Not to mention I called once and texted once to ask her opinion and she didn't answer either, so I had to make the decision by myself. She claims because she's been in a semi-depressed state the last few days it is crazy of me to ever make that decision. She has not communicated to me well enough how bad she really is right now. Last night when we spoke and she seemed better. You know what would make me feel better? My husband telling me he just earned $2,000 in 24 hours. Hopefully, in a good relationship, it benefits both of you. NTA. I always encourage my spouse to take the bump, but he's always anxious to get home to me. LOL. That's what I'm saying. My husband would get an earful if he didn't take the $2,000 and stay till the next day. Easy $2K and he gets a rest day in a free hotel room. Win-win. NTA, unless you missed something important, take the money. I'd say unless you missed something / plans. Full stop. If OP has been struggling with her mental health, it's hard to say what she would consider important. If my husband was flying home, we hadn't seen each other for a while, and he knew I was cooking a nice dinner for us, and then I found out he voluntarily postponed his flight? I mean, once I found out about the money I'd get it, but I'd still be a little miffed I put in the effort and he decided not to show. NTA, when she didn't answer the call or text to provide her opinion, you made a financially sound decision by yourself. End of story. Her depression over the last few days? I presume was while you were away and is irrelevant to your decision-making process as she did not share with you any of her concerns. Sounds like she hasn't really done that yet anyway. Sounds like the same emotional manipulation I put up with for the better part of 3 years. She's sad and wants you to feel sad too. NTA. NTA. If my husband turned down $2K, I would change the locks. NTA. Stand alone, it seems like a good deal, and with hindsight and the flight getting cancelled, you were proven right. How late were you getting home and did you miss anything important / semi-important? I'm also wondering the context, not a lot of background info here. Was it just a one-off business trip, or do they travel all the time for work maybe? Do they have kids at home and he's gone all the time? I traveled for work weekly and my wife would have been fine with it, but we didn't have kids or a lot of obligations really. I'm not excusing things on the OPs so for acting out, but could be more to the story that explains why they're upset. Also $2,000 to spend anywhere is insane. Most eBay seen in my flights was $1,200, but could only go towards flights. NTA. Just because someone is unhappy about your decision does not make you an AH. Additionally, you are not responsible for managing anyone else's moods. The end. AITA for ruining dinner over a spelling mistake? I 25F type very fast on my phone and sometimes have spelling errors / grammar mistakes, but as this is a text, I don't think it's that important. I just need the person who I send a message understand what I mean. I know it irritates my husband, as he has talked to me about it before, and for him I usually double check my texts, but last night it slipped my mind. I texted my husband a shopping list as my SAL and her family were coming for dinner and asked him to get some things after work. As I typed quickly, I had written coconut milk instead of coconut milk. I was making Thai green curry, but I realized I didn't have a tin at home, and I had made the curry before my husband was back. I just needed to add the coconut milk and reheat it for when my in-laws would come. When he got home, I realized he had brought everything I put on the list, except the coconut milk. I got annoyed when asked him why he didn't bring that, and he said he couldn't understand what I meant and that next time I should check my spelling before sending a text. I then told my husband to then figure out what we were serving Sael, because it wasn't Thai green curry as he didn't bring the coconut milk. I left my husband to then figure out dinner and he got us all takeout instead, which he was upset about doing as he had a hard day at work and I was at home. AITA. My brain filled in the right spelling and I had to stare for a long time to actually see the typo. I was looking to try and find the typo in coconut. Even if it didn't for Op's husband, which I very much doubt, he could have asked. I think that's what normal people would do. It wasn't like he brought something different back or whatever. He came home knowing Op wouldn't have an ingredient for dinner. Good on Opie for getting him to sort dinner. NTA, is your husband stupid? What other word could "lick" mean? Kidding, he's not stupid, he's just being unnecessarily petty. I dunno. If this is the hill he's willing to die on, I think he's kind of stupid, too. If he didn't understand the list, he could have texted you back or called you to ask. He ruined dinner just to be petty, and you did your best, ta. And he 100% understood the list, he was just punishing her for missing a typo because he's a petty control freak. It actually took me like 3 slow readings of your typo to see it, because human brains are wired to ignore typos that do not affect the meaning of the word. So you're definitely NTA, your husband 100% is. He did a petty thing for a petty reason, wanted to teach you a lesson most likely. And it backfired in the best possible way. LOL. Me too. I kept focusing on coconut. Like, what is wrong here? NTA. Tell him to fuck himself and see if he can work it out. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.